Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Mount Mindset. We've got Big Mikey and I back in the podcast studio. We're going to cover off what happened at Trump's inauguration. Why is he signing all these executive orders? What's the change? Why is he reversing these policies? What damage did they create? And how big a problem was Biden's administration? And it seems that there is no limit to how much power the Biden family seem to want to yield with all these pardons. We're going to cover that off. We're going to cover off what Trump plans to do, who's the movers and shakers in this particular dynamic, and what to expect comes next. So without further ado, let's dive right in.
You seen some of the banter yet? The memes coming out. Trump has made an executive order to ban all tripods in gyms.
Trump's made an executive order mandating that you cannot skip leg day.
Yeah. Fucking brilliant. That's the type of shit. He should make an executive order.
I think it'd be good.
Fucking what, leg day being mandatory? Just make fucking going to the gym mandatory.
I think that you should connect blockchain and AI to your gym membership. And you need to do legs at least once a week or you can't get in the gym.
Aye. Standard.
You need to do legs.
Get rid of these broccoli he did chest and bicep cunts.
And you see the thing that you see lassies with great legs and bums. And you go, and you'll stand next to a guy and the guy's got nothing.
This is the hang out. You can't.
It's embarrassing, Mikey.
I know. You're standing there and there's a lassie next to you with a better set of quads than you and you're thinking that.
And you see how hard they work. And I'm like, fucking fair play. You deserve it. You deserve the results.
Yeah. Aye.
Because they're in great shape, and you know what it's like training legs. It's like not an easy chore,
especially at my height.
Aye, I like it because I know your fucking height.
I know.
Angry Italian Fanny Riccardo came out with a peach today. I was like, go and explain that one, Riccardo. So Dell is 6'4", and he's talking to a dude who's making Dell look wee. He's probably not far off your height. He's looking down to Dell, and he was doing squats. And I was like, he'll probably not enjoy doing the squats. Ricardo's got he's got the same distance to go, and I'm like,
he fucking doesn't he?
Ricardo, hey, I'll get a fucking measuring tape. I beg to fucking differ. Nah, it's about the same. And I was like, Ricardo, and what fucking you never went to high school? I know that you never went to high school.
He's not over 6 foot, is he?
Who, Ricardo?
Aye.
Ricardo's about 4'8". I'm fucking taller than Ricardo.
I've never actually physically seen you together, to be fair. There was that one time at Connacht, but he was up and doing like a fucking madman.
Aye, probably because he didn't want to know that I was fucking...
I've never seen anyone sweating so much.
0.7 an inch taller than him. I mean, the difference...
It's a bad state of affairs if it's only 0.7 an inch.
See, the thing is, the difference between me and Ricardo, right, is he's short for his height and I'm tall for my height. But I said to him, I was like, mate, and even Dell's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because the range of motion is much larger.
But even that shite Lee Priest was going on about, it's easier for you leg guys, leverage and that. I'm like, aye, if the joint was closer to the fucking weight, I would understand your point on leverage. It doesn't make it easier. If you
Lee at fucking 4'11".
I know.
But it's Lee 5'5" or something.
Is he 5'5"?
What do you think he is?
I mean, I'm sure I told some cunt the other day he was only 5'2". That may be a bit of a stretch, but I think 5'5".
Nah,
he's not 5'5". I mean, he might be 5'5".
He's probably. I think he must be 5'5", surely. He's a mile away from 5'6". He's probably in the range of 5'5".
It's when obviously that photo of us and loads of folk have come and be like, I can't, he was wee, but no, that wee.
Stacey said the same thing.
I was like, aye, but.
So for everybody,
because obviously you looked quite tall compared to Lee.
Mate, Mikey, I've been telling you how tall I am for my height. I've been telling you. I've maintained this all along. I'm tall for my height. I'm supremely tall for a guy my height.
I think it'd be shite being tall. Tall. I'm tall. It's shite. I think it would be shite being really short. I could do being a couple of inches shorter just so I didn't hit my head off shit. But other than that.
I've never seen somebody really tall and thought that'd be ideal.
Nah, it's a pain in the cunt, lad.
I just think you getting in and out of sports cars, low.
Well, if you've seen me in your sports car, it's just the mechanics didn't work.
You trying to get into that Lambo was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Hunched in, squashed in. Remember, you were like, "Can I get a shot?" I was like, "Mate, if you can,
it's yours if you can get
it, you can have a shot of it." I was like, "My quad can't fit in where the transmission tunnel is." I need to brake with my left foot because I'm shuffled along to the side. If you can fit in
Is
this,
it?
aye.
Is it
I'm
that
like,
rough?
if you can sit in this big boy, you can take this for a spin.
Aye, when you can the passenger seats to struggle, the driver's seats is no happening.
Well, for people that they want an image of what it was like, your knees were at your chin, the back seat was pushed against the
My
firewall and
shins
was
were
rubbing.
on the dash.
Your shins were on the dashboard.
And your dash is this shape. It's pointy.
And
it's not fucking pleasant.
The top of your head was pushing up through the material of the...
Well, if you had a hard top,
Aye, the soft
that
top.
wasn't happening. Like,
You got in because you basically squashed your head into the material.
Aye. Aye. There was less aerodynamic when I
It
was
was just
sitting
good
in
that we
that
never
seat.
had any speed bumps because there was a good chance that you were popping through like a
Especially
a
the way I
movie
was
skit.
when that happened too, yeah.
And you were big.
I was big.
You were big. You were a proper size then. That's fucking embarrassment that you're now.
Fuck off, I'm back up.
Yeah, you're going back the right direction.
I'm like 135 kilo now.
That's
I'm doing
much
all
better
right.
because you were like a fucking junkie the last time.
I know.
Sitting there like,
I do miss it a wee bit.
what
Although I
fuck-
was watching a video like about me talking about the stuff I was taking on holiday. I'm like, look how sunken in my face is.
Aye.
It was
You can see it in the podcast, like the difference in the
Yeah.
episodes, because like you look full and then you look like sort of clapped in Skeletor,
Aye.
and it's really sucked in.
Aye. I didn't. You don't realise at the time. It's not till I look back at that video. I was like, "Geez, oh,
Aye,
I was pretty on the lean side."
yeah.
There was still more that could have came after. So,
You're better getting big. You better getting big and then peeling it back.
well, that's what's happening now.
Aye, because you were tiny, you were in lean, you were in good lean shape, but it was like I knew I was like there's more in there.
An air boy that's a pro. He was in Flexion last night. I was talking to him late, and he's like, "Aye." He was also like, "Aye, you should go for it next year
What
on stage."
you should and you will, and it's a must.
It's
I don't want to
happening.
hear your fucking snowflake chat. Right, do you want me to run these off, or you want to just fucking start with the memes?
If you got someone that like,
I've got loads.
go for it.
No,
then.
I've got the proper ones. But if we want to start with memes, memes are as good a place.
I
as
try
any.
to find a list of all the executive orders that he managed to get through.
What did you find?
I found the list. I just never had time to go through it. And I was wanting just a list of what he got through, but I was getting a list and then what it was, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is going to take a minute.
Right. Segment 1: Trump executive orders reversing Biden's policies. So, background on Biden's policies to start with: climate change. Biden pushed for the green policies like rejoining the Paris Agreement, which Trump now aims to exit. It highlights issues like the increasing regulatory burden on businesses and energy costs. Immigration. Biden's intent on immigration policies, including the cessation of border wall construction, which Trump aims to reverse. So, I mean, it's very obvious what's happening in America. I mean, somebody put in the chat earlier when I put up that poll, like, why is Europe only getting the kind of the bit? I'm like, America's got 20 plus million illegal aliens running around there just now, funded by the government.
It's not just us. Loads of countries have this issue, especially across Europe. Okay, and it's not just us. You go everywhere and you find folk for all walks of life. It just depends on whether they get away with trying to influence the fucking change that they want when they're here.
And I mean, the thing being is that
Imagine like some of the stuff that happens here. Imagine them going over to Dubai and like, I'm going to take over this neighbourhood.
No,
It wouldn't fucking happen. No danger.
and this is the political correctness has got out of hand now to such a point that people are too scared to say no because they don't want to be
I just branded a whatever.
an ist of some kind.
Yeah, an ist or a phobic or whatever. And you're like, no, I've not got a problem with this. I've got a problem with that.
Yeah.
But it's easier just to accuse, oh, you don't like when this happens, that means you're this. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
At Disney.
It's getting out of hand. And that's the thing is that people need to realise that you need good housekeeping. There needs to be standards. And if people are coming here illegally and they aren't checked and they're not fitting into the
The
culture.
amount of cunts that have came in with no passports, you don't know who these people are, Ken. I
don't know
can't
what they've
even
done.
go to fucking Dublin with a passport.
Yeah. You don't know what they've done. You don't know what their background is.
You don't know who they are.
You don't know if they've been in jail. You don't know if they've committed crimes. You don't know if they...
Mate, we've got an Airbnb in Italy next week. We've had to provide our addresses, our fucking passports, fucking selfies of ourselves, just to fucking check in an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Cunts got into fucking England on a boat.
Well,
with nothing.
that was one of the things that was said on, the who would lobby for these policies to end, and it's like, well, there's not everybody. I mean, there's the first guy that's aiming to be the first billionaire hotelier from putting up the migrants. So the government contracts are that lucrative that he doesn't want this to end. Do
you know what? I can understand that. I get, like, if this somehow benefited my tattooing business, I would be like, I sound, keep them coming. Oh, the government's handing out tattoo grants. Sound.
But what point does it come? Like, how much does it need to be when you look at society getting torn apart? The marching on the street.
But if you're going to be like a hotel billionaire and that, you're not dealing with any of this shit happening on the street. He's not going to give a fuck. He's just bothered about his top line.
Would you sell your soul for it?
Most people would. I wouldn't, but I'm more of a fucking, like, it depends on who you are as a person and how you. Some people care about how they're viewed, and then some people give a shite about what they have or what they can get. I don't really give a fuck about how people view me, but I care about how I view myself, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, like,
I think I've got a pretty solid moral compass.
The morality is that, like, I don't have any problem with anybody coming here because I think people have the right to go wherever they want in the world.
For sure.
If you're
coming for the right reasons.
Yeah, if you come for the right reasons, you're a good, upstanding person. Yeah. You're going to abide by the rules and laws and culture of the place that you're visiting. Like, I don't expect to go somewhere in the world and everybody to pander around me. No. Like, if I'm coming to your house, I'm playing with your house's rules.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Within reason.
I'll talk your talk. I'll walk the walk. Fucking right. If I've chose to go there, I've chose to go there for a reason.
If I'm coming to your country, I need to integrate into your ways, not the other way about.
Completely agree.
But it's not like that here in the UK. No. It's, you come here and we're going to mass import you with no checks, no, no verification of what you've done. I mean, I'll give you an example. I bumped into a pal of mine. Used to go out, have a few drinks at a good time in the casino. Bumped into him. He started doing funeral service business. So he's like, I've never been busier, Gio. I says, what are you getting a lot of? Like, is there anything that's changed?
Well, deaths, I would assume he's getting a lot.
He's getting a lot of deaths. The deaths have increased.
They're up 1,000 a week or something in the UK.
And I said, why? So here was the three things that he said: strokes, heart attacks. So there was
blood clots by any chance?
The strokes and heart attacks were bracketed as one because we believe that they're from the cause is from the same place. If you know, you know.
Yep.
Right. So that was, if you know, you know. Number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, the old people dying of the fuel the winter fuel cut allowance.
Is that actually having a fucking impact?
He says a woman fell down the stairs, hit her head off the chairlift. She had a house coat. And two big jackets on, terrified to turn on the heat. My gas engineer says the exact same thing. People not turning on the boilers because they're terrified of the bills and what it's going to cost. Literally terrified, freezing themselves to death. And then you've got these pensioners there that are dying, worked here, being a good part of society, put it into the system, promised a fuel cut, and then the government done a U-turn. Starmer totally U-turned on them right when they needed them most. Mm-hmm. And the third one was suicides. It's male suicides. And it was the people that were, he's like, people just had enough. And he says, because there's no way, like, everything they're working for is being taxed off them. Over-regulation's killing business.
Yep.
Inflation's up, costs are up, energy's up, and then there's more and more rules to tax more and more of what you've got left.
Yep.
People are going, what's the point?
I know.
Especially for guys, their identity's attached to being the provider.
Yep.
And then if they're failing to appear to provide, then it's a tragic way to, end your life.
I know.
And that's what he was saying. He's like, gee, I've never seen, in all the year, in all the time he's done it, he's never seen such an increase like that. And that's what's going on now.
It's fucking frightening,
But
it was a few years ago, and fucking, like, when I started the shop in Dunfermline, and every other fucking day, some cunt was doing themselves in. And like you say, it was all just young lads.
Aye.
All young lads.
The boys need purpose. They need to know why they're living. They need to have something to work for. They need to know who they are. They need, like, the thing that I deal with, like, I've dealt with, like, boys that are needing to get their head out their arse, for lack of a better word, to the top guys in the world who are at the top of their game, right? But humans are humans. Like we have the same.
There's fundamentals
things.
that fucking
fundamentals that will drive us. And see the things like, see if you're losing your identity or you're confused or you're feeling a bit lost. It doesn't matter if you've got hundreds of millions in the bank or you've not got a pot to piss in.
It'd be easier. I feel like I would have less issues.
It's easier to get hold of somebody like me when you've got my hundreds of millions in the bank.
It's when they say, like, money doesn't buy happiness. I'm pretty sure it fucking would. I feel like I would be much happier with 7 figures in the bank than I'm on now. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's like Arnie. Arnie's example, he says, money doesn't buy you happiness.
Pish.
This is true. You know what he said? He says, I had 49 million in the bank. He says, and I was just as happy when I had 50 million in the bank. That's true.
That's true. Aye. I could handle.
What is the root of all evil is the lack of money. It's not there comes a point when it's not like doubling that money wouldn't make you double as happy.
No.
It wouldn't double your sensation of happiness.
No, you just need
so
to.
Money doesn't buy happy. What people find unhappy is the lack of freedom, the worry about bills, the worry about not having money, the stress of trying to keep scraping it together.
Everything that comes with not having money.
It's the lack of money that's actually the root of all people. And that's the thing is that they're aiming for like, it'd be fine if I could just win the lottery. So, well, no. What you need is a structure that's going to make you feel good. You're going to give you freedom, going to give you a sense of security, give you a sense of purpose, something that you enjoy doing, and that you feel good doing it. Like, they are the things that you actually want.
Aye.
And if you can do that in such a way that you don't feel that you lack money, then you're going to be good.
Aye, but then some things come along and you get fucking shafted by this cunt and shafted by that cunt.
Sounds like you're talking from experience, Mikey.
Aye, sounds like my first week in 2025. Fucking strong armed by every cunt in their fucking duck. Can't wait till February.
What about the national emergency at the border?
Whose border are we talking about here?
So US border. So they're declaring a national emergency. They went down.
Are we on about Mexico? Are we on about the port?
No, Texas. They just went. Texas. They just went down and shut the.
Is it San Antonio's port? Yeah.
Shut the port. It says nope.
Right.
Done.
Get the fuck.
So the 3 things that he came up with on.
Because it's not just South Americans that are having bother with now, is it? It's cunts for all air.
But basically, anyone can come in through that border, and what that was is anyone was getting to Mexico and coming straight up. But the predominant majority of them are from South America, Central and South America. But
I had a lot of problem with. Did they not have a big issue with a lot of Chinese coming over or some shit like that? I was reading somewhere.
Well, I mean that's
like a massive influx.
That's been common, and that's the thing is that they're just worried about who's coming in. I mean, you don't know if they're Chinese intelligence, you don't know if they're agents, you don't know if they're.
Oh, they thinking like that type of chat as well.
Well, I mean, how do you know somebody's in your country? I mean, what you do is you know because you're scanning the passports.
Yeah, but if you're really like some sort of secret agenty type character, you can get a fake one, no bother.
Of course you can get a fake one, but when you get what happens when you go through like passport control? A picture's taken, they've got video, they've got a document that they can trace back.
True.
They've got
whether it's your real name or
point,
not, they've got
right, and then they can use their camera system to use facial recognition to see where you moved, where you went, how your biometrics look.
Yeah.
See, when you come in through like essentially an open door, they don't have any of that. They don't have a starting point. They don't have anything to begin with.
I know. So
you're in there like a ghost.
But as well, I don't really like all that shit either.
Another controversial one was the birthright citizenship.
Anchor
so we
babies.
discussed about that, which was if you came across as an illegal immigrant
had a kid there.
and you had a kid in America, that your kid
because you had the right to stay because your kid was
your kid was classed as American.
Aye, anchor
American
babies.
citizen.
It's a big thing.
And what did you call it?
It's an anchor baby.
Anchor baby.
Because they'd go there and they drop an anchor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
we are here. Our ship is docked.
What do you make of that?
So it depends on why. Do you know what I mean? Like, because obviously a lot of people still view America as a land of opportunity and the land of the free and all this bollocks, even though it kind of really isn't anymore.
Despite George Soros, his best at times.
And if you're trying to have a better life, and you think that's the only way to do it, and you're just going there genuinely just to try and become a member of society, pay taxes, and just have a better life, then I don't really disagree with that on a whole. If you're going there to set up some fucked up shit and cause a problem, then I think it's bang out order. So it's a situational thing for me. You know, if someone's from a complete shithole and this is their only way out, then and they are just going there to be a sound cunt, okay.
Well, that was the whole thing when you went to emigrate to another country. They would always want to know if you had a job, if you had something lined up, if you had money in the bank, so that they knew what kind of they were looking for.
It's like Australia. If I want to go to Australia, cool. You need this, that, and the next thing. On you come. Yeah. Cool. Right, Roger. This much in your bank. You got a job lined up. Okay, and then you can't hear was the reason you're coming. Aye, this is the chat. Sound. On you come. If you answer no to all them, get yourself a fuck. Yeah. Because you're not coming here for the right reasons. Yeah. And I don't disagree with that. I've got no qualms. Like I was telling you before. I think I was telling you anyway. One of my clients' parents work in Kuwait in the oil industry, and she was there till she was 18. And then she's aged out, and because she doesn't have a purpose to be in Kuwait and she's not a Kuwaiti national, her parents are still there now, and she got fucked off back to the UK and had to move in with her gran because they're like, there's no reason for you to fucking be here, get yourself, away you go, draw. She's allowed to go back and visit 2 weeks a year. That's it. And I don't have, I literally see nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with Kuwait doing that at all. Yep. I think it was Kuwait. I'm pretty confident it was Kuwait. Or Qatar.
Especially if they've set that for the outset. Like, it's not come up as a surprise.
Aye. And when her, because her dad's quite high up in the oil industry, if he finishes up his thing, he'll have a time scale. Cool, you've got a year to get the fuck. He can't like retire there. Do you know what I mean? When his contract's up, he's got like a year to get his shit in order and fuck off back to the UK.
What do you make him signing the document, the
DEI?
DEI.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I think there's equality and then there's what we have now. I'm all for the equality. I'm not for the extreme nonsense that we're having here. Do you know what I mean? I'm not game for extreme equality because it's not equality.
No, it's not equality. What it is gaslighting.
Yeah.
It's gaslighting that we need to do these things. I remember I think it was Goldman Sachs. One of the directors in Goldman Sachs got in a hot bother because there was like a diversity target of 30%, so they had to employ like 30% ethnic origins or ethnic minorities, and the idea is that your talent pool needed to be, or your employment pool needed to be made up of 30% of essentially other.
See, I don't agree with that. See, if you've just got you're hiring.
Yep.
Just hire the best people, regardless of sex, race, or religion. Just who's the best? Who's the most qualified? Let's do that.
But this is what he said. He says, "Look, you want me to employ, and he shot him down with numbers as an investment banker would." He says it's not possible, and they're like, "Well, it needs to be possible." He says it isn't possible.
This is what, but then you're hiring the wrong people for the job, and everything goes to shit.
This is what he said, Mikey. He says, "Look, he says you want me to employ 30% of my workforce and get the best people to essentially this level, and the number of people that I would need to employ won't make that cut. They're not good enough."
Yeah.
So there's a backlash. Well, are you saying that these people are not good enough? He says, no. He says the concentration of people, so there needs to be a number of people, then there's the cream of the crop, and we'll employ them. He says in the ethnic minorities, there isn't a big enough group of them here to get the cream of the crop of the percentage that we would need. Yeah. So the ethnic minorities represent 13.2% of the population.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is the ethnic minorities would need to be 3 times smarter than white national Americans.
I know to qualify for.
Or not, the Caucasian American, typical kind of white collar individual. And he says the concentration is off. You can't do it.
Aye.
He says so. What we need to do is employ substandard, lesser individuals, less qualified, less credentialed, less able individuals to meet a target. It doesn't make sense.
No, I think it's silly. Just best person for the job, regardless of all that shit.
And that's what it should be. It should be, look, if you're good enough It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're. It doesn't matter what you're like. Man, women.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
White,
Fuck, just best
brown,
person.
yellow, black. Fucking Martian. Doesn't matter.
Aye. If you've put a shift in and you've got to a point where right, I'm fucking going for this job, it shouldn't matter any of that shit.
And you know, you go into these places, and I've been into places where you get high performance individuals, and they are different backgrounds, different cultures, different colours, different races, different ethnicities, different. Everything's different about them. But do you know what? They gel together. And do you know why they gel? Because they've got something in common.
Yeah.
They're fucking excellent
at what they do. Yeah.
So they gel because they are in harmony with each other. Like their desires are aligned. Their desires and skills are aligned. And guess what happens? You get cohesion. And they don't care about the colour or the creed.
No,
or
because it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. But then
nothing.
You hire a load of, like you say, like unqualified individuals, and then it creates an issue in the workplace because people are having to start carrying other people because they don't know what they're fucking doing. And then, oh, well, I don't like such and such because he's no fucker, he can't do the job. Oh, well, that's no fair because he's this or he's that or this is Ken. So you're now fucking, you know, you've got an ist or a phobic on the, and you're like, how? No, it's because he can't do the fucking job. The rest of it's irrelevant, but then you're branded as a fucking toss bag.
Speaking of which, the clip that we'd done for the last episode had a good pop. The net zero's a scam.
It's still going.
It's still ripping.
I've got to the point now where I've stopped looking through it.
It is ripping.
I'm like...
And how many, what about the, where's your evidence?
Where's your evidence?
Well, the top geologist in Australia that's saying it's a scam, the former head of Greenpeace that said it's a scam, that it's total hysteria.
I know, that's
it's
hilarious.
Like, look, how many... and
the guy who, like you say, he started that, he's like, nah, they fucked it. Yeah, it's like, it's pish.
He's like,
I'm away.
It's total hysteria, it's total lies. It's been blown out of proportion.
But even when you see fucking people like Dan Pena and that talking about it and be like, it's all, he's like, what is it he says? He's like,
Dan Pena's bit was like, it is horseshit.
Total bollocks.
Says, this is why it's horseshit.
Aye.
He says, because see if there was a real risk, what you would have is you would have banks that wouldn't lend on properties that were near the waterline. Yeah. And you would have insurance companies that wouldn't insure them. So meanwhile, you've got like Barack Obama going on, yes, we have an energy crisis.
With his Malibu
meanwhile,
beach house.
He's buying a fucking a beach house, a mansion in Hawaii.
Right.
He's got a mansion in Hawaii right on the waterfront. It's
he's got one in Malibu too. I'm sure he has a Malibu beach house and all, mate.
He's done,
maybe not anymore.
He's done remarkably well for a former US president on $400,000 a year. He seems to have just sort of magically figured out the market. You know, him and Big Mike. Michelle.
Not me, to clarify. He does not have me.
So this is the thing that Dan Pena says. He says, right, the banks wouldn't lend on properties, so people wouldn't buy them, and the values would go down.
You wouldn't be able to get a mortgage. Nobody would. It's over 50 years. Well, no, it's going to be underwater in fucking 10.
It's going to be underwater. Would you listen to John Kerry and his hysteria about global warming? And the guy, the Australian geologist, goes, well, you know when they tell you it's the hottest day of the year. He says, so they go back and they say the records, 120 years has been the hottest day of the year. He says, well, if you stop at 120 years, he says, we can go into the ice samples, we can tell that the weather at this time, 300 years ago, was 5 degrees warmer than the hottest day here. He's like, so you pick a point and you can make it look like that. He says, but the Earth has been way hotter than it is now. Yeah. He says, and they go through these big cycles.
Heating and cooling phases.
But people don't want to hear, like, see if you're driving an EV car and you've got blue hair and you're double masked and you're triple vaxxed and you've had COVID 83 times, you know, and you get a thrill and a buzz when you go into a shop that still has the perspex up at the till, then you don't want to hear any of this.
It's funny. See how happy that made me the first time I walked in and it was all gone. Yeah. I was like, yes. It's just that, because obviously they hung around in supermarkets for a fucking while after. Yeah. You're fucking trying to hand your money through this fucking hole. Yeah. Done my tits in. Then one day it was just all gone.
It's all the way.
It was good.
But the madness of it all, and even like the other one we've done today, remember they were like, oh, you know, chemtrails are, you know, what is it? Even the fact checkers on Instagram, because the reel got pulled. And it was like, yeah, we fact-checked this and chemtrails are a conspiracy theory. We've got the videos of them spraying the fucking sky. They've actually recorded it. Dubai is on record going like, yeah, we control the weather from Abu Dhabi. We can tell you it's going to rain next Tuesday because we found a spot where there's an updraft and we're going to seed the cloud and we're going to put the chemicals underneath it and we're going to make it rain. And the madness, they're like, they don't
But
want to
even
hear it,
last
Mikey.
year, they openly on the news admitted fucking it up, and they flooded Dubai.
Oh, that was when people had their paddle boards going down the road.
Yeah.
And the canoes.
You just had all these supercars floating. Do you know what I mean? Just millions of
Do you know
dollars
what
of
it looked
cars
like to me? It
floating.
looked like, when your kid was in the bath with all the toys.
Yeah.
And it was just the toys floating. Well, that looked like Dubai. With all the stuff, like these rich toys were just floating
I can't
down.
remember how many years.
10 years worth. 10 years worth
like
of rain in a single day.
Fucking wow.
In a desert. So where
Wild.
do you think that's going?
I know. Same thing happened. It was either in Kuwait or Qatar when they were building the new airport, and they fucked that too with the same sort of thing. Cloud seeding, and it just went tits up and flooded the new fucking airport.
What do you make of the swinging across the pond? Stammer up to his usual shenanigans. Did you hear the latest? That they're trying to make it a hate
This is the pub chat.
crime in the pub. So if you
If you're talking amongst friends.
oh fuck
Right,
it.
let's get official. Don't want to get fact checked, mate.
Don't want to get fact checked.
You're talking
Right, for
piss.
the-
All
for
right,
the
well, we'll
fact
fucking read
checkers.
it off the actual fucking things that he said.
Right. The proposed UK laws by the Labour government regarding hate crimes. Ooh, those hurty words. Focusing on how overhearing conversations in public could potentially lead to legal repercussions. So,
Imagine sitting in the pub hearing a chat and then going and grassing on some cunt.
so what?
A fucking pussy
like,
cunt,
what in the
man.
name of fuck Nazism is that? When you're going in like the SS are sending round the fucking Gestapo to come and check. Oh yeah, mine.
We heard you said this. Where's your fucking proof?
Yeah.
Oh, we mad Davy for the boozer on Saturday night when every cunt was hammered. All right, so we're now taking pissed cunts.
Somebody steaming.
Aye, he's now a solid fucking witness.
Imagine like Shona bluttered on her 8th WKD, like reeking of Smirnoff Ice.
Chinged out her fucking tits.
On her third bag, strolls into the police station, fucking raging.
Aye, someone said this.
You know what he said? And I can't believe that he said that because he knows that I've got 4 kids. You imagine the police desk. I'm here to report a hate. What's that again?
See the ridiculousness as well. It would go like that too. It would be proper petty shit.
Aye.
Again, like the police haven't got fucking enough to do without that shit.
I spoke to one of your clients, Brian, and he was telling me some of the stories. And
Oh, Spears.
Aye. And I was like, mate, fair play. Because you go, look, you feel for the police because although there is a certain degree of, I don't know how you put it nicely, just basically fucking cunts that want to join the police force to get a bit of power happiness. But there's a lot of good people in the police.
Oh, there's a lot of solid police officers, really
decent
solid.
people.
Aye,
And you feel-
they're a decent person. This just happens to be their job. Do you know what I mean?
You feel for them because it's at what point they're between a rock and a hard place, right? They're decent. They know what they need to do, right? They've picked this as their vocation. This is how they earn their money,
Aye.
right? And they're in there and they're getting these more increasingly ridiculous sets of rules that are called laws, and you go, at what point? Like, I didn't sign up for this. No. I'm here to deal with real criminals.
But it's like that. It's like that copper that came round to Mikey's 60th. Ken and came in the garden, and he's tapping the cam, and he's like, "You all live here, eh?" Aye, mate. Yes.
Yep.
Aye, this is a bubble, innit? Aye, I was like, fucking let. He could have been a prick, eh?
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He was fucking brand new. Because he kens the fucking crack. COVID, Ken, he obviously couldn't be arsed with either. You know what I mean? Ken, 60 cunts deep in a garden. You're staying in this house? Aye. Aye, it's a 3-bedroom. Aye, they want to see the fucking bunk bed set up we've got upstairs.
Trappers, mate. Trapples.
But that's the type of copy you're wanting, eh?
And you want, like, this is the thing, is that's what happens is you get good coppers and you can tell straight away, and they're bang on.
And as long as you know a toss back to them,
I know.
Ken.
Because they're doing a job. I mean, they're
Half of them don't want to be dealing with the shit they're having to deal with. Ken, they can't.
and they'll probably feel better. You know, if you imagine what they deal with, and they go and see stuff and they're dealing with like the real arse end of society. and then they get somebody that's treating them fairly and treating them like a decent person.
You're going to cut them a bit of fucking slack, you know what I mean?
They already feel a bit of relief that they're not getting,
See some of the fucking videos and cunts just being wankers. You are a public servant. I am the public. You're here to serve me. I'd be like, you're going to jail tonight, lad. You're getting fucking. I'm going to find a way to lock you up. You fucking bell end.
I mean, it must take some patience, because it really is. It's madness.
Everyone's been there when they're younger, pushing the police in. You can. There's been nights you're like, Anthony can who I never got lifted.
Right.
Yeah, and I had
You're
that.
just glad they gave you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, aye.
Because you're not sure you would have gave yourself the benefit of the doubt.
But on the same token, I had times when you were a wido as a teenager, and the police still had that bit of crack where they got a bit of leeway, and just like, yeah, funny day, and they drop you off 3 miles for the village and make you walk home. Just like, think about how fucking funny you were.
Aye.
You're like, oh, come on, lad.
Aye.
Fuck's sake.
Aye, enjoy the walk.
Aye. Or one of the police that was local. Ken, because like the worst thing you could do in the 90s was say the police at your door.
Aye.
Your parents would be fucking raging with you. I'll take you home. Please don't take me home. Please don't take you home in the van. You're
Come
going
on,
home.
boss.
Fuck.
Come on, boss. Let's discuss
Aye,
have a chat about this. We don't need to go there.
We don't need to bring my mom into this.
Right, look, honest engine, I swear it'll be good.
That front door closes.
Pinky promise, honest, hand on heart.
I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. Door closes and I was like, how fucking dare you bring the police to my fucking door? Sorry.
What else is there in the Paris Climate Accord? Straight out. One of the first ones they signed.
WHO, gone.
WHO, massive. What do you make of the pardons?
The capital city pardons or the...
Which one? He's going on a fucking rampage. Biden pardoning, preemptively pardoned Fauci.
Oh, I'll be on about, because obviously Trump's released all the capital storming folk.
Yep.
So I didn't care what pardons we were talking. As in, Biden. We've done nothing wrong. We're all innocent. I'm just going to pardon every cunt.
Essentially, the majority's family.
Fauci. Yeah. Is he pardoned Bill and all that?
I wouldn't put it past them.
I haven't physically. I seen the list of his family members.
So he pardoned his family. He pardoned the J6 committee that pushed.
Half his family members, though, I'd never even fucking heard of. So I didn't get what he was pardoning them for.
Right, because if they get a hold of where all the money went, it was 10% for the big guy. Like, how many of his family serving boards of Ukrainian energy companies?
Yeah, that's true.
They're getting the money.
I thought it was just his son. Well, they all at it, aye?
They'll all be at it.
I thought it was just fucking Hunter that was on that energy company fucking hingamajigger.
Yeah. The Fauci, the J6 committee, the justices went after Trump.
Yeah.
So he's basically preemptively pardoning everyone that went after Trump. So
I seen Trump talking about it earlier on the
it's
day.
crazy. They used the law. They used law as a weapon.
Yeah.
So they weaponized the law to go after Trump for a guy that they hunted for 4 years, and then now what they're doing is they're using the presidential pardon to get them off the hook for when this guy that they've hounded for 4 years comes back into power.
Did I send you the thing, or did you send me the thing about the pardons only qualify for what happened in America, and not what happened outside America? So can they potentially, can someone go after them
if the International Criminal Court says that they have committed,
they can go after them for
they've committed war crimes or crimes against humanity.
So they're not safe yet.
No. Another thing is that a federal level pardon doesn't pardon you from a state level crime.
Really?
So DeSantis is looking into.
So could you be done via each fucking state? All right. So there's so essentially he's just trying to fucking. It's not really stopped anything from happening. It just can't be done with federal law.
No. So the federal agencies can't do anything.
The federal agencies been done it anyway. They were always fucking pals.
It's a strange old world. What about Zuckerberg going on Joe Rogan?
I haven't watched it yet.
Hey, so the story is Zuckerberg went on Joe Rogan, highly suspect to begin with, because Zuckerberg has done a total U-turn, donated $1 million to Trump's campaign.
Has he?
We're all for Trump.
He's bragging he was forced to do the fact checking shit. I don't believe that.
This is what he was saying.
I think he was very complicit.
He was saying that Biden's administration forced him to do the fact checking, change the algorithms, hide the Hunter Biden laptop story, and also to promote that Trump was basically everything they said they were. It was.
I don't know if I believe he wasn't complicit in that. Oh, I was made to do it. Were you really? Like, I think, like Facebook and, Meta, his company, I'd say he's a reasonably powerful individual.
But the regulator, I mean,
He's going to just be made to do shit.
This is a problem
off.
that the government, see, the thing that governments have got is what people don't realise is when governments come in and write regulations, what they now do is they write a regulation that says you need to follow what we write or we'll close you down.
So you could just move Meta out of America very
look at what
easily.
They've done with TikTok. They banned TikTok, next day it wasn't on the App Store. It's exactly what they've done to TikTok, and what they're doing is we'll seize assets, we'll take you to court, we'll wrap you up in litigation, we'll just make your life difficult for you.
All right, okay.
So it's like, it's just easier to do what we tell you rather than to get involved in a fight. And it happens if we give you a government contract and give you some payments, then that will grease the wheels. And that was the thing is like...
We'll give you a government contract.
We'll give you a government contract and grease the
illegal
wheels.
payoff.
Well, the payments that went, there was payments to Meta that totaled, I can't remember how many millions it was, but there was millions of dollars worth of payments that went to Meta from government organisations. It was on X.
So if he admits to taking and being forced into government contracts and that, then what's the crack there then? Is he just going to be like, oh, sorry?
Just talks to Biden, gets a pardon. He's got about.
He's probably raging that he never got on the pardon list. Like, fucking dick, he's hung me out to dry.
I think the thing from like the tactical point, from Trump's point of view, is that right, Zuckerberg's not making it difficult for him. Right, what's done is done, and now if he wants to have a campaign, he now has like Mark got like yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir.
Yeah.
So do you want to go full John Wick on Zuckerberg? Or do you see him as a useful tool now?
I would go full John Wick, personally. Why does he need Zuckerberg? He's got Elon.
Because, think of what Zuckerberg controls. Facebook, Instagram, all the Meta suite, like WhatsApp. So they look at just even the data usage of the people that are there. So in terms of...
But they made him sweat a wee bit, you know what I mean?
You could, what strikes me strange about Zuckerberg is the way he's looking. Like, he doesn't look like the same guy. Mm-hmm. You've seen the difference in the picture.
Yeah.
There's something off. Reminds me of that bit in Terminator. Remember the Terminator movie where he's like, T-600s, they wear like rubberized masks. They're way more difficult to see. They look like real humans. He's looking at Zuckerberg, you go, mate, you don't look like the same guy. Like, what in the T-600 fuck are we looking at here?
What's happening?
And where do you get T-600 from?
And he's... I'm sure I've took T600s.
Well, Zuckerberg is definitely ahead of that curve because he comes in, but there was another, would you make of Elon at the rally, the Nazi salute? Apparent
it
Nazi
wasn't.
salute.
I don't see. He like grabs his heart and just throws it to the side. I don't think it's a Nazi salute. It doesn't look great, but I think going, it's a Nazi salute was also a bit far.
Well, apparently Superman is now, there's loads of cases being raised against Superman because he believes he was doing the Nazi salute every time he went flying.
Yeah, it's the right arm, isn't it?
It's like,
yeah, so if you're going to
pull
put
your hand up, you're a Nazi now.
He waved Nazi.
Craziness. And Elon came back and responded and he says, look, calling everybody a Nazi is getting tired now. Like, you need to come up with better attacks than this. He says, because this whole thing of just calling everybody a Nazi is dead and gone.
How did the Nazis salute? Did the hand just come up for the side, or was there a chest?
No,
thing?
it wasn't a batter on the chest.
I'm sure it was just his hand just went up, didn't it? Regardless of. I'm not going to do it so I can be created into a fucking.
Like that. I'll do it because you're a shite bag. There you go. There's the salute. Nah, it might feel
Oh man, the fuck! I think that's just an attempt to try and fucking cause him problems and try and affect, because loads of cunts have shut their ex accounts already and fuck off, man.
What Elon was 400 billion. I'll be giving a shit about your like.
You've cancelled your free account. What a fucking nightmare!
I've deactivated my ex account.
Fuck you, Elon.
But even X, when you look at how much, like, they are number one for media outlet now.
I still struggle with it, to be fair. Like, I still, like, because I was never big on Twitter when it was Twitter. And now it's X. I can't really navigate it that well. I go on it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with this fucking thing.
And there's loads of people just shouting on it. Like, there's loads of fucking...
Is it just...
It's just loads of, like, you know, people venting on there. Like, and then what happens... Do you know what X reminds me of? X reminds me of... Have you ever seen the dogs that are either side of a gate just going off their tits at each other?
Their fucking...
Like, just for anybody that's not seen this, it's a gate, and there's a group of dogs on one side of the gate, and there's another group of dogs on the other side of the gate.
Have you seen
and
the
they're
one
just
with
going fucking nuts, barking at each other.
And then they open the gates and
they
the
open
dogs
the gate,
don't
the
do
dogs
it.
just stop and just, like, wonder as if nothing happened. Be like, all right, cool.
That's fucking hilarious.
And that's what X reminds me of, because it's just, what it is just like amplifying people's. I think they're just like fucking.
I think, but like you say, a lot of it, even on fucking Instagram, like you're saying, a lot of these comments are bots.
I mean, you look at
100
easily,
fucking...
they're just bots coming in, getting at the...
Like, where did we get...
They're either bots that they've got shite personalities.
Are we fucking over, like, 300,000 views yet?
We're past 300k.
Are we?
Aye. Let's see.
I'm not on the fucking interweb. I don't know where I'm trying to look. Last I checked, I'm sure it was like 288,000 or something like that.
Way past that now. Let me just fucking see here. I've got no internet either.
It's that fucking cheeky bastard that had the nerve to fucking mail me.
It was 311,000 earlier.
Boom. That's good.
311,000.
That's good, eh?
Yeah. And it was the one that TikTok took off. TikTok took off for community guideline violations. I didn't comply with your CCP party. Fuck your party line.
I'm over TikTok. I keep getting and just for tattooing, because I'm causing harm or there's a bum crack. Fuck off, Ken. So I've went a bit dark on TikTok. It's fucking started to annoy me.
Nah, I don't really pay much attention to it now, because it's just getting to the point where, like, TikTok has an element of X about it.
Aye, like, anything's allowed on it.
It's just people going off their tits.
It's the live folk I didn't really get, just existing.
I don't know. I think these things are. They've got a feel to them. But do you know that word on the street is Trump and Elon are going to be buying TikTok?
I did hear that. I did. And it'll be interesting to see. There must be a discussion, because obviously Mr. TikTok was there in America, obviously, for the
inauguration.
That one.
Yeah.
They were in there for that chat. I think he might have just been there patiently finding out if he was getting fucking stiffened or no, but...
Well, Trump says that he was cooling off the ban, and then it was off the App Store for a few hours, and then it was back on, and then there was, like, chat about what's happening. But there was minutes after Trump got inaugurated, there was a court file, a complaint filed legal.
I've seen it.
At Elon.
Yeah.
Regarding the Dodge, Department of Government Efficiency, which was essentially that any non-governmental organization, which Dodge would be, or at the time of the inauguration it was, would be needed to comply with transparency rules, and that they weren't transparent, which was essentially a play. Like, if you want that translated, because you hear all these like legal words and you think to yourself, what in the fuck
what does that even fucking mean?
Tell me what's going on. Well, Uncle Gio's going to tell you. There is lots and lots and lots of federal employees that weren't showing up for work. They weren't actually doing much work, and they like their big fat contracts and they like their big fat paychecks. And some of these contracts were worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. And if you've got someone that's coming in who's saying, we're going to find all the waste and we're going to strip this whole thing out, we're going to cut all the waste and stop all the ridiculous spending, and your party was getting your party was getting cut off, you might want to file a little break to stop that from happening.
Injunction.
Just to slow that down a little bit.
It'll be interesting to see how much, like, because surely you're going to be like, we've managed to save this of
Mikey,
pointless bollocks.
Billions.
Yeah,
billions and billions and billions being wasted.
Like we were saying, that WHO telling they fucking idiots to get to fuck was $500 million.
But you remember Trump's play was, what Trump had said was the WHO were getting
$500 million.
billion a year,
500 million.
500 million a year from America,
Yep.
with 320 million citizens, population 320 million. China were paying 39 million and they had 1.4 billion.
That doesn't seem very fair, does it?
It's not quite ratioed out, is it?
No, it doesn't.
And given that China is a reasonably, it was the second largest economy in the world.
Very wealthy country.
Yeah, it should be paying something in the order of what America's paying, but they're not. And then you look at what the WHO were, the part that they played in the whole COVID fiasco. They had played a lot of dirty tricks. Mm-hmm. A lot of dirty tricks. And Tedros, who is the main character at WHO, has a very, very, very checkered past.
Oh, does he?
He was charged with genocide in his home country.
Oh, fuck.
Genocide. Damn. Not something that you get.
Where's his home country?
Something like that. I can't remember. It's fucking Ethiopia or. Checking out.
Charged with genocide.
Charged with genocide. Wherever he is, wherever he's from in Africa, he was charged with genocide. Now, for any of the listeners out there
who don't know what
genocide is, genocide is essentially mass murder.
Yeah, when you try and take a select group of people and try and exterminate them.
Yeah, genocide is not something that you can get easily. The Ethiopia.
Was it? Was he that guy?
He's Ethiopian.
Oh shit. When was that? Was back in the day though, was it no? Because was that when Ethiopia and you had it was like a civil war, was it no? Am I right?
Yeah, I'll need to check.
Because I met two girls when I was in, where was I? Maybe Mexico, and they were German, but they were Ethiopian born, and they were refugees in Germany for they were very young, and that was due to some shit that kicked off in Ethiopia.
Crazy, man.
And they'd obviously spent them, they were German citizens now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because at that point I was a bit naive. I'm like, what the fuck happened in Ethiopia? Like, right. And then obviously, because I remember in the 90s when I was at primary school, kind of was always about the kind of we're all starving and being treated no very nicely by somebody. I can't remember who won or lost that war. I'm assuming Ethiopia lost if the refugees were going to Germany.
No, I mean, the refugees are usually during the war and they can be after the war, I
don't know the timeline on it with the lasses I met anyway.
I'm not up to speed with it. I was just looking at the...
Actually, no. If he got done with genocide, they can't have lost. Because if whatever he was doing, if they won, he wouldn't have been done with genocide.
Yeah,
so whatever side he was on, what they must have lost then.
Yeah. I mean, he's a dodgy character.
Because no cunt that wins gets charged with fuck all. It's the people that lose that get charged.
Biden's family. Biden's family are cool. They're cool for cats. So, covering off Dodge. So, the review of the executive orders signed by Trump that officially established Dodge, focusing on specifics like the creation of Dodge teams.
So, see now that's official.
Yep.
Is that lawsuit to fuck? Just bollocks now, doesn't matter.
That was just a complete
flare.
That was a rescue flare that was thrown in, and they went to light it.
Let's get it go.
They just went straight in the water. And that's that one out. So they went on to say the challenges delve into the legal suit filed against Dodge for its lack of transparency and balanced representation,
government
efficiency.
Efficiency, that was it.
Which are central to the FACA regulations. So it says here that essentially there was a legal challenge because there's like one of the things that the UK has. I mean, because people go like, "What's the point?" Well, there was the former head of the HMRC sold government buildings for 200 million,
and now rents them for so much fucking more a year.
And he went to Deloitte and worked in their offshore department.
He got a job off the back of that, didn't he?
The offshore department, basically the government now rent those buildings back that they sold for 200 million for 400 million a year. So let that sink in. We sold the buildings for 200 million, and annually we now pay 400 million for the building.
To rent the same
That's in
buildings
that's in the UK on an island.
that we used to own.
What do you think it's going to be like in America?
I know.
All the government buildings, all the administration, all the people that are like, I'm working from home, no showing up for work, away getting their nails done.
It's how that even got passed, right? I'm going to sell all these buildings off for 200 million, and we're going to rent them back per year at 400 million. And someone's obviously went, cool, sound, great idea.
I mean, even if they built, it's like, I'm a property guy. There's no way that you would go.
It's a bad business move.
It was very bad.
It's fucking, like, Nick Hunt is going to think, yes. Well, obviously.
It's a blag, Mikey.
No.
It's a the guy has pulled a blag. Like, I'm in a position where I can sell you these cheap. He must have got the brown envelope of all brown envelopes. He got a golden parachute, right? You do this while you're in this position. This is going to be waiting for you. And, whatever you want.
Yeah, let us know.
Crony capitalism. Deal got done, signed off, boom, walked straight into a job. Now the government are paying all that money. And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. And it's back to what the hoteliers doing. The hoteliers getting the cream of this situation. So it's like we always say, so see
if you do own a hotel though right now in the UK, you'll have never been as solid. You know what I mean? As in like booked.
Yeah.
And you've just got, and obviously you're now getting more per room, per person than you would have done as just being a normal hotel, hoping some cunt was coming to wherever the fuck your hotel is.
So if you're a hotelier, your number one aim is to get your occupancy through the roof. So what you want is lack of voids, right, which is increased occupancy. So you want the number of rooms occupied as much of the time as you can. So the government comes along and says, we've got these people, like they've came from somewhere else, and we want you to put them in your hotel. So we want to book out essentially your hotel continually.
They've been doing it for ages though, too, because mine when the Syria thing kicked off a few years back now, and they were taking families in, the landlord in my studio in Dunfermline, there was flats above the shop, and he had 3 families. So he could legally put a family in a room for $1,200 a family per month, and he had 3 families in a 3-bedroom flat.
Yeah.
And like just, you've got a poxy wee fucking flat in Dunfermline, making you fucking 3,600 a month.
Yes.
Like fucking.
And that's the thing is like,
mental.
The bar is surprisingly low of how much, like if you're on the side of the government where you've got you need to house someone, you need to so where someone's moral compass switches off is not 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. 3,600 a month will do it. You know what I mean? 3,600 a month will do it.
That's it. It's like sound.
And they'll justify it to themselves like, but at least they all speak the same language.
Oh yeah. Well, you would assume
they know what Syrian will be for. Did you fucking use the last of the toilet roll?
It can, because initially it came when you're like, just like, where are all these people coming from? And it was something. It's like they're on that top flat. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a setup. I'm like, how? How are you fitting a family in a bedroom? Ken? Again, obviously the earlier joked about the fucking bunk bed setup, but that must be what the crack was.
What about the American servicemen that refused to take the vaccine? They're all getting mandated to be reinstated with full back pay.
Yep.
What'd you make of that one?
Is
it another mic drop? Because you go, remember we fucking told you.
Yeah.
Remember you shit on us for the high heavens. You need to take the vaccine. The vaccine's safe and effective. You need to get a booster. You need to protect others, protect NHS.
I like what Russell Brand sat and put together, and all the news.
Clippings.
From when it went to 100%, 99%, 98, 97, 96, 90, 80. Oh, you might need 2. Oh, you might need 3. Oh, there's going to be a booster every year. And it's a brilliant fucking clip.
And there's like a fucking variant, a new variant coming around the corner. Next Tuesday.
All the different variants that was
coming to you in COVID next week. Part of the Box 6 series. We have Omicron. You go, well,
Because you notice the new thing they're worried about is that bird flu or whatever it's called that they're going on about at the minute. The new pandemic that's brewing in China, and there's now cases appeared in the UK. It's still the exact same COVID They've just changed the colour for
Have you
green
seen
to blue.
Have you seen like the Gaddafi clip where Gaddafi talks about what he says? You know, Ice Cube was on, like, there's a clip of Gaddafi and there's a clip of Ice Cube, and the fucking two of them are telling you the same thing. And it's along the lines that Gaddafi's one says, look, they're going to create viruses, and then they're going to create the vaccines to these viruses, and then you're going to be in this perpetual loop. So that was it. And then Gaddafi then mysteriously just ends up getting on the wrong side of his handlers. And then it cuts to Ice Cube and Piers Morgan, who is a shining light of Bob Agnes. He is a squirming fucking rascal of basically Bobag proportions. Like, I struggle, like, you know, like Pierce to me, like, see some of the tweets that he put out, just really, really heated about people that didn't take the vaccine. Like, he said things like...
Oh, in COVID, he was a toss-back.
COVID
fucking right he was.
People shouldn't get access to hospital if they're unwell, if they've not taken the vaccine. What a prick. What a fucking toss-bag. So what you're saying, mate, is that people... don't have the choice.
I bet though now the evidence is there. I wonder if he's completely flipped on it now. If
he's came out and he said it, and he's like, "Look, I was going off highly inaccurate information, and I regret what I said." But
that's all right. If he's at least fucking publicly,
no, because Mikey's he's still a wank.
He is still a wank.
He was a wank then, and he's a wank now. Taking that, you know, and it's fair play to him. He's came out and says,
"This is what I'm saying." No,
but he's still a wank.
Oh, he's still a wank.
It's not reduced at 1%. He's still a wank.
But I'll have a slight bit more respect for you if you're happy
no for Piers.
to put your hands up and be like, I was fucking wrong. I'm a fucking sack. Sorry. Did he say sorry, or did he just kind of skirt round it?
It was just, you know, I don't think he really meant it. I think it was what he needed to say.
It was just.
He was sort of like, he wasn't even. He was like, I'm saying sorry, but I don't really feel sorry.
I get you.
Fuck you, Piers.
He's just trying to stay relevant.
He's just a mouthpiece. That's what it is. He's just a mouthpiece, and he gets right on my fucking nerves.
There's sometimes I like him, and sometimes I don't.
That's when you've got a really bad judge of character, mate. That's like, you're usually quite good. You've obviously you've had a slight malfunction.
When he noises up like the fucking, like Ken when like the medic, like when he was sitting with all the heavies, and he was on this chat with all these sort of plus size people, and kind of been like, so what's the best way to lose weight? And he's like, fucking eat less and move more. And they've all went mental. You're not a fucking doctor. And it's like, on your cell, lad. Fucking tell them straight. You not seen that?
He's still a wank.
He's still a wank. 100% he's still a wank. And kind of like when he tries to goad cunts, like when he tries to get Tate on and tries to fucking goad him into fucking arguments and this, that, and just tries to push dumb fucking shit. And it's just like,
did you see when he had Dan Bilzerian on?
Who?
Dan Bilzerian.
No.
Tries to go Dan Bilzerian,
and that doesn't work for him.
He hates Jews. Like, he's saying you hate Jews.
Who?
He's saying to Dan Bilzerian.
As in Dan hates Jews. All right, okay.
And he's like, I don't hate Jews. He says, I hate people that think they're superior to everyone else. He says, I hate that they believe that they're above everyone else. I hate that they exploit people. I hate that they're killing people in a war that's creating genocide. I hate that they, in their doctrine, they say that they think Jesus is burning and shit in hell. He says, and I don't think that they can do some of the things that they can say. He says, so it's not about them, it's about this particular group of people that act this certain way. And Pierce is just sitting there like, whoa. Same way Tate shut him down.
Yeah.
I love him or hate him. Like, Tate can hold his own in a conversation. But Pierce is just can't get with him, man, at all. I cannot get with him.
What's your opinion on Katie Hopkins these days? Do you watch any of her chat?
Aye. Yeah.
What do you think?
Jury's out now.
Aye, still on the fence.
Like, I like what she's saying, but it's the same with Nigel Farage. I think Nigel Farage is
just playing a
controlled
fucking
opposition.
Yeah.
Like, and is Katie the same? I don't think so. I think Katie's more further out in the curve than Nigel. I think Nigel's playing the game.
From what I've seen, because I watched an interview or whatever, she was meant to die.
They went after her hard.
Oh, aye, but she was meant to die. She had a condition, and now she's good now. Some surgeon went and did whatever the fuck was wrong with her and fixed it, but she was meant to die, and now she's not. She's like, she's as far as she's concerned, she's on borrowed time. So she now doesn't fucking care. and she's just going after the wrongs
Yeah.
in Britain now and just trying to because now she's just like, I was meant to be dead. I really don't fucking give a fuck.
I mean,
now.
I'm cautious to like her, but I do have the feeling that
You're starting to fucking.
I'm warming to her.
Yeah,
That's
I never used to like her. See,
the
when she
jury's
did
out,
that,
but I'm warming to her.
was it Loose Women she was on, or it was one of the talk shows, I'm sure, and I was just like, okay, and I couldn't be arsed for her back in the day, but now because she is just calling out the points and doesn't seem to really
Was she
care
on a
about the
talk
rep.
show?
I'm sure she was on a fucking talk
I
show.
thought she was like in Parliament. I thought she was.
I'm sure she was.
Political.
I may be talking pish, but I thought she was like a loose woman or
No,
a.
you're I think she's been on Loose Women. I don't think she was on the panel.
All right, okay.
I think she's been
It
on
might be
Loose
that
Women.
then. I'm sure she was one of those fucking. I don't remember her in politics though.
She's too fat. No, she was in politics.
You sure?
Yep, that's what she's known for. She was in politics. Then
I just thought she was known for being
no,
widely
she-
disliked.
She was in politics, and then she got criticised for being outspoken, and then she got like persona non grata, and then they tried to strip everything from her, and then she had to get everything out of her own name when they went after her that hard.
I know.
And then
I think her kids in that stay with their ex-husband and
she
everything
went
too.
like balls out. She's got nothing in her own name because they basically blacklisted her. She is blackballed. And it's just the power of them that they go like, don't fuck with us. You know, you're going to you like we own the system and we'll shut you down. And what they effectively want to do is do that, and they want to upgrade the system. That's what AI and the social credit score is doing. Do you hear about Bill Gates? Bill Gates wanting to use AI to go and whitewash the internet.
Yeah.
So it's essentially they want to send AI out to scrub everything that isn't on their narrative.
That's fucked up. That's wrong on so many.
It's Bill's
fucking.
like, is that the worst he's done?
No, but like the information has always been there through the pandemic, through everything, and people have the choice to either keep their head fucking buried or go looking.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just go in and wipe everything, because there's also a unit in the military, and that is their sole job, is to go around the internet removing shit that they don't want on the internet.
in the UK.
Is that what it's called?
77th Brigade.
And I think the fact that exists is wild too.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff I'm like, right, it's on the net and now it's not. That must be fucking true. Yeah. And then shit that's just circulating, being pumped around and shared left, right, and centre. I'm like, well, that's obviously no important. That's bollocks. Otherwise, why is it not being taken out?
I like Don Fry. You remember the guy Don Fry that was the UFC fighter with the tash? He was just hard as fuck.
Nah, Don Fry.
Don Fry. So he looked like jet black hair.
Are we going way back, UFC fighter?
Start the UFC, hard as fucking nails.
Don Fry.
You'll know him. You'll know him when you see him. And he basically was on one of the talk shows, and
Is he wearing an American flag shirt?
Could be. I've seen him in something like
It's
that.
like a Tom Selleck tash.
Tom Selleck.
I know
tash.
exactly who you're
Tom
talking
Fry.
about. Aye, yeah.
Tom Fry. Tom Fry. Tom Fry. And he is. He's just saying, he's like, Russia's the last place.
I know exactly who you're fucking talking about now, yeah.
Russia's the last place where real men. He says, you go and start shit with Russian men, will kick your fucking.
He's like, where
they
is
will
our
kick you
Putin?
up and
We
down the
want
place.
aye.
He's like, here, everybody's fucking soft.
I didn't know he
Everybody's
was a UFC fighter.
Oh, he was hard as fuck.
Yeah.
This guy is legendary. You want to see some of the fights he's had, as badass as they
How
come.
the fuck have I
Mikey,
never heard
he
of him?
is fucking hard as nails. Want to see some of the fights he's had? They're legendary.
He's got that 80s porno fucking superstar look about
he
him.
is right. He was the love child of Tom Selleck, Dolph Lundgren, and Sylvester Stallone.
Bosh. Tap shagger.
Like if you took Tom Selleck and Dolph Lundgren and Sly and made a combat fucking doll, it would be Tom.
Because that clip got my attention on that talk show, because obviously I'm like, there's a guy in an American flag shirt
Yeah.
boosting Putin. I'm
what
like, I need to listen to what's being said here.
Even like there's a Russian search engine you can use that will just not fucking hide the shite that the Western search
Have you
engines
got
are
access
hiding.
to it?
Aye.
Is it? What's it
It's
called?
called Yannick's.
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 I need to hear we look for
And you
that.
can just go and it's like
Just Yan, Y-A-N-E-X.
it's YANIX.
I-X.
Yeah.
Yannick's.
Yannick's. And it's just a search engine that if you like even the
If you
one,
Google it, will it come up?
you can get it in the App Store.
Oh, shit,
You
okay.
can get it in the App Store.
Deadly.
But the idea is that even all the browsers, like people think Google search engines, and then even the ones like the Brave browser, DuckDuckGo, They were always the ones like, yeah, we're free, we're like liberal,
And they're not.
They're not. Even the guy that fucking that runs and owns DuckDuckGo was like, yeah, we're going to censor misinformation around like Ukraine and all that. And it was like, so essentially you're just doing what your fucking competition doing.
There's a few things, because like you should never really be able to stand for Google and Google come back with no hits.
Yeah,
I've had to look for some shit over the years and I'm like, nothing? Really? Ken?
what were you looking up?
I can't remember now. There's been a few
Google
occasions.
can't remember either.
No, there's been a few occasions I'm like, how is there nothing?
Yeah,
It's like you try and, Ken, on a GIF, you try and search anything a bit fucking close to the line and there will be no GIFs that appear for it.
yeah,
Ever.
yeah.
I was winding someone up in that and fucking, I'm like, I think I called him a Nazi, and I tried to find like a Nazi gift to send, and I'm like, nothing? Really? All right, okay, I had to take to fucking Google Images. I couldn't get anything anywhere, No memes, I had to just go to Google and just fucking type in, hit the image bar, and I got shit. But in terms of like a GIF searcher or can anything on fucking whatever, just nothing. Sorry. There is nothing, was it? Nothing matches this search.
That's crazy. That's wild. So, what do you think's next for Trump?
I think he's just going to be waiting for what fucking comes. There's going to be a bit of backlash on probably most of what he's done, but I think most of it's going to be really positive. I think the majority of Americans will be happy with a lot of what he's done.
What do you make of the people that talk about him being controlled opposition?
I can't see it. It'd be funny if it turns out. Well, it wouldn't be funny, but I mean, there's a
conversations are really hard. Like there's a name for people that think just basically anybody but them is, a fucking in the game. Like there's for these people, they think there is one side that's the controlled opposition and the other side that's the opposition, and the whole thing is controlled.
It's just a big game. I mean, it could be, because
it definitely could be.
Like we've said,
but
there's
they're
levels.
fucking exhausting to listen to.
But it's like the amount they've tried over the two fucking presidencies he's been involved in now, and they've tried to fucking hammer him, indict him, fucking smear his name, shoot him, like. Any cunt would be like, I ken you want to be the fucking controlled opposition guys, but you're taking it a bit fucking far now,
Yeah.
You just fucking bow out. I'm a billionaire, I'm in my 70s, I don't need this shit. Yeah. So I would be inclined to say no.
If it was the case, it'd be extremely elaborate.
Aye.
Extremely. Like it seems to be more than what they would need.
I don't... I mean,
the name for the people that do that kind of thing, that think everybody's at it apart from them, their pal Davey and Shona for down the Bakers, is black-pilled. They're black-pilled. So you get red-pilled, which is you don't believe in what you're being told. Blue-pilled is I'm just going to believe anything you tell me because I don't want any. I can't be bothered with the hassle.
Aye.
And I just want to go up my work, get my head down, and just agree with whatever comes up. Red-pilled is look, I can see what you're doing, and I'm not going to play those games. Or I'm going to put up a bit of resistance. Black pilled is, I don't believe the red pills, the blue pills, or anybody that's selling the pills, even though I've got a black pill.
It could be just being optimistic, but I really do hope they're going to try and correct the world as much as they can. And I hope it spans out of America and it has influence in our country and the rest of Europe.
But they're in it's fucking wild what's went on. I mean, even look at the wildfires in California.
It's all the
madness.
bits that you're hearing. Oh, they turned away. Canada sent loads of firefighters down and they turned them away at the border.
What about the fire hydrants not having any water in them?
Yeah, turning off the water supply.
What about them draining the reservoir before the fire? What about the fact that it was apparently a wildfire and there was trees still standing in the pictures and all the buildings were burnt?
See, loads of folk like, not all trees fall over when they get burnt. I'm like, but it's the fact they're still fucking green, mate.
Yeah. They're not scorched.
Like, I get a tree can still stand and it been toasted to fuck, but these are still green.
What about the blue? Anything that was blue didn't burn? Or the cars being melted on the outside and then completely pristine on the inside?
The interior not being affected at all. How the fuck? I mean, I've seen a car go on fire and everything gets fucked. Everything.
Well, I know. Like, I was saying this to Ricardo
You seen some of the footage with the incendiaries?
Yep.
Might be the right word. Coming down through the clouds,
Yes.
floating down, just torching shit.
Yep.
One guy's filming it from underneath, being like, "What the fuck is this?" It's like, neighbour, don't touch that.
Yep.
That'll burn right through your fucking hand.
Well, the chat is that they're direct energy weapons because the DARPA and the Defence Department were working on sort of direct energy weapons, which is using like sound frequencies, laser beams, things that you could hit a target with that weren't your traditional like boom boom explosive stuff.
You seen the footage of the loads of wildfires starting at the exact same time?
But it's not called that. It's called arson, Mikey. That's not wildfires. That's arson.
Yeah. Wrong word.
Did you see the green? You know the Greenpeace protesters that were protesting against Trump, who were caught at the wildfires with the petrol and the matches.
I did see that. Yeah, the guy running around
lighting up the fucking stuff.
I did see that. I did. And it's just very interesting that obviously you've got the pending Diddy case. His house is now ruins. Loads of people linked to that. All their fucking mansions are all torched to shit. Oh, we've suddenly no evidence.
What about BlackRock going door to door? Do you know this one? BlackRock are going around chapping doors, offering people money for their houses.
Yep.
Fire sale prices.
Yep.
We'll buy your land.
Yep.
And what about the insurance companies cancelling out the fire cover 4 months before the fire started?
Yep. Took all fucking fire policies up.
Stinks to high heavens.
I seen a...
what was the other one? Because it was California, there was Hawaii, and there was another place that went on fire.
Yeah. It was after Hawaii.
Was it after Hawaii?
I'm sure it was after. Or was it... No, was it before? No, I'm sure it was after. I'm sure Hawaii was the first that got torched.
Yeah.
And then after that, you had footage of loads of places started doing the whole blue roof banter.
Well, in China they were doing that, and apparently it's protection against the whatever the direct energy weapon doesn't do stuff to things that are blue.
Laser doesn't affect blue shit. Where was that other fucking place?
It'll come to us.
But it's but there's the proposal for the new smart city in LA, and it's easier to build a smart city if the city's no longer fucking there.
Yeah. And they're talking about these C40 cities. Do you see Jordan Peterson talking about them?
Aye.
The C40 cities are
a train.
40-minute cities. The 40-minute cities where you'll have one flight available every 3 years, no private car ownership, and you'll be allowed 3 garments of clothing a year.
I train at the gym 5 days a week. I need more than 3 bits of clothing a fucking year. You know what I mean?
It's not going to work.
No.
You know what that is, Mikey? That's a concentration camp. That's not a city. That's a fucking concentration camp.
I know. That's fucking large.
I reckon if you were in a concentration camp, you were likely to have more than 3 items of clothing a year.
I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure they just got the striped pajamas and that was their fucking lot, lad.
I mean, you can probably give them a wee wardrobe or something, yeah.
No, don't they fuck. You shat in your fucking communal shiter and you got your fucking jammies.
I think it's craziness. But BlackRock are going in. Did you see the clip? Fuck me! Did you see the clip? Going,
What one?
You know, the guy that was like, we are going to rebuild this city, and we've got the developers on board, and you know, we were already making plans before we started this fire.
Has he said that?
He said it on fucking camera, Mikey.
Oh shit!
Talk about a Freudian slip. He's on there with the cameras and the lights and everything. He's like, he's doing the public announcement.
Send me that one. Like I've not seen that.
We'll get it added to the edit. We'll go and find it. And he's like, talk about fucking landing yourself in it. Madness. It's just even like I don't want to believe it, but the evidence is like
the evidence is fucking stacking up for it to be a bit on the fucking sly side. You know what I mean?
There's something suspect going on. So there's a C40 city, a smart city that's been planned in LA. LA would need a complete overhaul. You're likely to not have people wanting to agree to this.
No.
And they plan to build it. They want to have it by 2028. 2028 or 2030?
I think it was 2030, but 2 years is just whatever. So you know what I mean? It's fucking irrelevant.
In the very near future, they want to have a smart city. They need to completely redevelop the area.
Yep.
Klaus Schwab at the WEF has been going on about how they'd be redeveloping it. There'd be many of the WEF choir boys saying the same thing.
Yep.
Then the reservoir gets drained. Trump's on talking about the fact that they could cure the problems, that they could clear the scrub from the forests so that they wouldn't have essentially a tinderbox that could set fire to the fucking county. Then they also said that they could divert the water that was just pissing into the Pacific Ocean. They could divert the water and send it there so that they would have a water supply. The fire hydrants were turned off.
Yep.
You have blue things that are not going to light, cars that are pristine inside that are torching outside. You have smart meters that were blowing off their fucking tits at properties. You've got properties that are completely inflamed. You've got insurance policies that were cancelled 4 months beforehand, and you've got a guy on camera saying we started the fucking fire, and you've got people running about with petrol cans lighting fucking fires. Like, even if you're not a conspiracy theorist, explain any one of them. Never mind all of them.
I know.
Any one of them you can explain away, but all of them you're like, there's some serious fuckery. Then, once it's done, and things fucking raging, and you've rejected all help, and there's a guy on the clip trying to put out a fucking fire, dousing it with almond milk, then somebody works out how much water you need to use to get fucking 2 litres of almond milk, that he sprayed it over the fire. There's 100 fucking gallons of water that's been used to make 2 litres of almond milk. It's done absolutely jack shit.
I think there must have been it must have been a wind-up video, because someone was just like, no wonder these fires are spreading. It's like 2 firefighters filling their helmets up at the fire engine and walking over and chucking the water out their hats onto the fires. I'm like, that must be a wind-up.
I mean, it's
surely you've not got a qualified firefighter with the whole fucking rig and the hoses and the pump, and you're fucking filling your hat up.
It's madness.
Oh, this is out of control.
The fire department's funding was cut as well, and all the surplus equipment was sent to Ukraine.
Recently, or was this a while back? Or because if that's recent, then that's another fucking cross.
Ukraine war's not in the distant past.
No, but what I mean is, kind of, if it was in the past couple of months, we need to
check. We need to fact
kind
check.
If it was a recent, right, let's get this to fuck.
I don't want. Fuck it. Comment if you want. Gives you a best shot.
The trolls are great, mate.
Aye.
The trolls have pumped that video.
Oh, they've pumped the life out of it.
It's the fact that, see, if you're going to comment on a clip, listen to the full clip. Oh no, they're cleaner to run. We're not talking about running. We're not talking about running the car.
Yep.
Listen to the fucking clip, you balloon. Then
Why do you think net zero being a scam is so hot for people? Why do you think that really gets in their tits?
I know, folk got awfully fucking passionate about it,
I mean, there was no grey area. There was a few.
Like that guy that mailed me, he started it with, "You two are fucking idiots." I'm like, neighbour, who the fuck do you think you're mailing? With that fucking attitude. Aye. Ken, I'll let any comment slide. You fucking personally mail me. We've got an issue, neighbour. You fucking cheeky cunt. Fucking what a balloon.
And under absolutely no understanding of either of our backgrounds. No understanding.
Or they've not even watched the full segment of what we're talking about.
You've got an award-winning tattoo artist, you've got a world-class investor, but yet, Jimmy with his fucking 9 followers and his shite posts is coming on going, you fucking two don't know what you're talking about. Like, where's your expert? What about the top geologist in the world? What about the ex-fucking guy for Greenpeace? What about the countless articles from people with the niche scientific experience that go, yes, there's something wrong. But yet, where's your article? Your article is
BBC.
Your BBC and your owner's handbook from Prius. Your fucking Toyota Prius. And you go, look, listen, if you want a conversation, we have a conversation about it, because I think good open discourse, we discuss both sides.
Yep, for sure.
Somebody goes on, like your clip, boys, I didn't agree with it, this is what I thought.
Aye, sound.
No bother, you can have a good conversation. Go,
you're fucking wrong.
There was nothing.
You're an idiot.
There was a few guys, there was a few people got caught. I don't know if you've seen some of the comments, but they were caught up in the shit. They were like, whoa. It's like, I've never had any more, I've put one comment in this section, and I've never had as much heat and interaction on Instagram. Some poor guy
that bodybuilder boy, I can't mind his name. I followed him, and all he did was, I'm not getting, what do you mean with the 0 point? And I'm like, we're above, if it goes below, we're in trouble. He's right, got you. And then every cunt's jump on him.
Oh.
And it's just he never even fucking, he did a simple query.
I know. Mikey, I felt for him, because I thought they've just jumped on you like a tramp on hot chips.
But did you see though, we've not had to do any engagement, because cunts are just fighting amongst themselves.
Aye.
Like that Nelly boy, Kenny, one of the earlier comments, he's just been getting his cunt punched in off every cunt. every single comment I see will be like at Neil. I'm like, this cunt's probably no replied for about a week now. He's like, I would regret fucking.
How are they getting so riled up, Mikey?
I know.
They're absolutely fucking going livid.
But this goes to the whole point, Ken, when folk are like, oh, they're not pegging us off each other. They fucking are.
Aye.
We've put up a 30-second clip about a petrol car being better overall than a Lecky car, and Instagram's about fucking fell apart.
I can't remember, it was like 200k views. They pulled up the analytics. It was like, the view time was like fucking...
It's days.
Like, Mikey, it was 46 days worth of views. And I'm like, what, how?
And Ken, it's not even a minute long.
That didn't even count the comments. The comments were
Thousands.
going wild.
It's the shares too. Shares are in the thousands and
The
all.
saves are in 1100. People have saved the clip, and then we see the amount of people who shared the story.
It's fucking funny.
But I mean, I don't mind having I don't mind someone disagreeing with what we say and having have a decent conversation.
See if you disagree with what I say and you can bring some facts to potentially educate me and change my viewpoint, I'm open to it. Tell me I'm wrong, show me I'm wrong, and I'll be like, right, cool, all right, I accept your fucking...
Why do you think they're so invested in it? Why do you think that's really riling them up?
It's like I think people just, I'm right and you're wrong. And that's it. Or they get triggered,
Why net zero though?
I don't know. It's a lot of bollocks.
If I thought of the list of things that would trigger people, net zero...
No, net zero wasn't on the list.
No, I wouldn't make the
If we did a conversation prior to that podcast...
See, if we did a podcast, we says, right, Mikey, this is the setup for today's podcast. Aye. We are going to try and do 10 things that will trigger the shit out of people.
Net zero's not even the top 100.
Zero wouldn't make it.
I wouldn't even have thought about it. Can you have been on, religion, race, sexuality? They're the top things out. Net zero didn't make the cut in my head, but it seems to be the number one. So what have we had so far that's went mental? Salt, coffee mold, and net zero.
Net zero, Admiral Byrd's Diary, which was wild. I mean, I was like, I didn't expect a lot of people to know it was an Admiral Byrd's Diary.
Yeah. You've got a lot of rabbit holers out there,
and I've got one where I screenshotted something I put on my X, and that's just under 500k views, and people went absolutely nuts. And it was the same thing about global warming, and the global warming, they went fucking wild
again though, because I had the lassie, and if she watches this, she'll ken exactly who I'm talking about, because I was winding her up yesterday while I was tattooing her, just calling her lefty and that, and
was she left-handed?
Aye. That's the only left thing about me, is I'm left-handed. Because obviously she was in Florida when Trump won the initial race, and she'd put a post up being like, fucking, I'm going to try and enjoy my day even though he's won.
Send her a picture of me with a hat on, man. Cheer that up.
I'm like, you're not one of them, are you? She's like, yeah, I actually give a fuck about global warming. I'm like, Denny,
dear.
Denny. I'm like, it's not a hang. Chill out. Fuck me. Okay, now, of all the reasons you could dislike Trump for, global warming wouldn't be coming to the conversation for me. I get people didn't like him for the locker room chat and this.
What would we say would be the top 10 things, right? I would say religion, politics, race,
sexuality, gender, because they're different from sexuality. Apparently,
so gender would be in there because it's fucked. It annoys me that that's in there, but I need to agree with you. Like pay disparity, the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, pay disparity.
So we've got 6.
Feminism.
What else would be in there? Definitely Trump. Definitely
net zero, apparently.
Well, we need to give net zero a place now.
Aye, it's earned its earned its fucking right to be there.
It's very, very surprising, but I think net zero really surprised me. But I would say that things.
I honestly don't think I can name 10 things I think folk would get right wound up about. I can do 5 or 6, no bother, but 10, I think I'd struggle with 10. I think I'd just be
football.
The last
football.
I don't think a lot of folk really give a fuck about football. Obviously, depending on your area.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm Whitburn where my studio is. It's a very blue tune.
Yeah.
So you could probably get a bit of fucking riled banter in one of the boozers.
What would be the 10 most divisive things? I didn't have net zero, is them?
I honestly can't
religion,
think of
race.
10 things that I could. Like there will be, because obviously loads of people are fucking wet wipes at the minute, but like for me to try and come out, like, what do you think?
Fucking
10
trauma. What about trauma?
What childhood trauma?
Childhood trauma.
Yeah, I think a conversation about fucking childhood trauma would fucking,
Victimhood. Oh, victimhood would be in there. Number 8 is victimhood.
Yeah.
Number 9,
Self-importance.
validation.
Yeah, social media validation. Fucking right.
Yeah.
The fucking, you see folk asking that, if your boyfriend likes a lassie's picture, no, that's the same as cheating.
Oh, there you go.
But you put a fucking nude up and guys are liking that. Oh no, that's totally acceptable. No, it isn't it? Is it?
No.
Again, liking a picture's now cheating. It fucking isn't it?
Like, bring back, like, that's the thing, is it's craziness that people are getting their knickers in a twist about some amount of shite.
It's just went too far now. It needs to get
But net
fucking
zero,
reeled back in
I
a
mean,
bit.
Mikey, it's, why is it when they, like, see if you said to them, says, look, net zero is a scam. You don't think it's a scam. We sat down and we worked out that it's a scam.
Oh, it's a scam.
Right, so if,
100%.
if for instance, let's just say if you realised it was a scam, would that not be a better thing?
Yeah.
That you realise that there is not a danger?
Yeah.
Like, and
You
I
think you'd be
thought-
happy?
You would think so.
You know what I mean?
You would
Sound.
think that would be worth investigating.
Yeah.
Like, so there's an imminent, huge, disastrous, world-ending problem, and
And
you
it's
find
fine.
out it's not there.
It's totally good.
That'd be pretty
Relax,
good, right? That'd be worth a look.
Yeah.
But no, where's your links? You think it'd be worth checking out, but they don't.
No.
And they want to ignore all the information that isn't.
I think people form their opinions too quickly these days. They'll see a clip on TikTok, like the clip, and then that's just became fact for them. Complete factual. This is it. And then they'll see a contradicting clip and they're like, that's pish.
Yeah.
That first clip's imprinted on me now. You can't fucking change this now.
Oh, speaking of which, did you see Gary Brecker, the guy that
I know who he is.
Gary Brecker that had fixed Dana White, fixed all the celebrities. You see that
With the methylation test and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah.
So he's doing great work getting people.
Do you take methylfolate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to do a methylation test. I take methylfolate anyway. I've took it for ages, but I'd like to do a methylation test.
You can get it here.
No, yeah. I've
But
already
Gary
looked it up
Brecker's
on.
break coming away for Grant Cardone. They're having a serious fallout right now.
Really?
Gary Brecker's turning the fucking screws because he's suing him for $100 million.
What's him and Grant Cardone got to do with each other?
Grant Cardone and the company he is part of called Cardone Ventures.
I know who he is.
So his wife, they run a business which is like, I can 10x your business, so come in.
Yeah,
We're going to charge you fees. We'll take a share of the business and we'll 10x
I've
it.
got his book 10x.
Well, I've always suspected that what Grant Cardone says he can do and what he actually does are not close.
They don't align.
They're not in the same ballpark because I've seen companies at 10x. I've not seen Grant Cardone near any of them. So the chat that he goes out with,
He's a billionaire himself, though, isn't he? Or is he just saying so on social media?
I think he's saying so. On
Wee bit of
social media.
smoking fucking screens.
I'd be
no,
surprised if I'd be
Smoke
very
screens.
surprised if his net worth was $1 billion or more.
Because he done that thing too where he pretended to no be him and went for 0 to $1 million in 30 days or whatever it was.
If I had
he
a
done?
huge production company, I could make that happen as well. I could make that happen.
Right, totally, yeah.
But the thing that he's
I didn't think they were in cahoots, huh?
well, Gary Brecker started to, and it was the whole 10x your health,
Yeah.
and that was a collaboration. Gary Brecker's basically says they ripped arse out of us for fees, and then they changed all the policies, and it moved from health driven to sales driven, and then we were starting to let down our clients, and then it was all about if the doctors and medical staff didn't follow these sales processes, if they didn't watch more than 3 videos, they were fired, and it was just this huge high pressure sales environment that had totally destroyed the product. And then
was this for the methylation test?
Not so much a product. It was like they were doing the full spectrum testing.
Yeah.
They were offering like the like supplements that we need to take, the products you would need to buy. He's like, they basically Cardone Ventures went and bought another company, and then tripled the price of the stuff. Then they tripled the price of everything. And it was just basically just extracting the life
Just
out
kind
of
of
people.
strong arm, wasn't it?
It was just, and he was like, it was getting to the point where, like a family of three, a mum, dad, and three kids wanted to do stuff. You were talking about $20,000 a year.
Jesus.
And he's like, it was getting ridiculous. But they were just basically wanting more and more and more and more and more. And then Brecker tried to buy the business back, and they knocked him back, and they totally regretted doing it. So now he's gone after them, he's suing them, and he's like, I'm going to expose what they do. He's like, I want them to come to court. I want them to bring their balance sheet. I want them to show and just basically show what they actually do.
I wonder if they'll end up settling with him and getting him to sign an NDA.
Just full send. I'll never see the light of day. Never.
Oh, as in like you'll get him to sign the NDA and pay him. 100%.
Aye, it'd be damage limitation.
If that's the way Gary's wanting to go, you will just be like, well, mate, how about I give you this as well?
So interesting developments in the business world, but I think it's going to be interesting in America. It seems that Trump is, I think what happens next, the two proxy wars, which are in Israel and Ukraine.
A lot of folk think that's going to get worse in Israel. I think it'll fucking calm down.
I don't know, because their big bad dog in the fight is now got a different owner. So I mean, the Ukraine war stops as far as I can see. The Ukraine war stops.
I think that'll go.
It goes pro business. It deregulates it strips out the regulation. RFK comes in and starts to make America healthy again, and you're going to see some fireworks. I want to see what happens with the UFOs, because Trump is again alluded to, let's find out what this is now. That's what I want to see. That's the popcorn ready moment for me. Because I think Dodge does well. I think that they get in a bit of a tussle. I think that the Ukraine war gets pulled. I think Zelensky goes back to being, a karaoke stripper or whatever he was before.
Go back to playing the president on the telly again.
The Who gets a boot. And I think that Fauci and co are going to be really in hot water when RFK Jr. gets in and sees what's there. I can't wait to see the files getting released for JFK, Martin Luther King, and Bobby Kennedy, JFK's brother, because he was assassinated as well. And I want to see what happens with these UFOs from, as Trump's words, the space people. The space people. So I think it's going to be exciting times ahead.
I'm really excited for the fucking health kick that America's long overdue.
Yeah.
Just on the whole bodybuilding front, the nutritional aspect, I'm really interested to see how bad it really fucking is.
Yeah.
And hopefully, because obviously if he starts doing that, pulling apart foods and exposing this, that and the next thing, chemicals, they're wanting ripped out in that, again, hopefully that filters over here.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why we're all chugging down aspartame on the daily. Like, loads of fucking countries have banned it and we're still fucking all about it. And I don't get why.
No, you need to tighten it up.
And it's fucking, so it'll be interesting to see if he does start pulling apart vaccines, pulling apart fucking food, pulling apart the fucking health industry. I think it'll be fucking awesome.
I don't think he's going to get much resistance for Trump, because Trump's like, look.
Well, Trump's brought him in to do that fucking job.
Trump's pro-business.
Yeah.
He's like, let's get the business done. And I think that Trump was showing, like, see the people that sided and showed their allegiance.
Yeah.
They picked their corner. And now Trump's like, well, you picked your side.
Yeah, you've made your bed, mate.
Made your bed.
Fucking lying in it.
And RFK is just like, he is smart, shrewd, clever, articulate. He's in shape. He's energetic.
He's also someone that has been affected by shoddy healthcare.
Yeah.
Ken, personally.
Yeah.
So he's fucking, that's the part I'm really excited to see what happens.
It's going to be good. So it's exciting times, Mikey. I think it's going to be exciting times ahead. I think Stammer's days are numbered.
What's your views on this fucking... What have you looked into this old law? This fucking thing about emergency powers? I think it's just some social media pish that folk are fucking blurting out. You get what I'm on about? Apparently there used to be some ancient sort of fucking coalition-y thing between America and fucking Britain, and he can fucking have emergency powers to do shit here, and I'm like, I don't think
know.
that's fucking true. Like, I think that's pish.
If anything, it would be the other way around.
Aye, because the people from here were founding people there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, I think this is just shite on the internet trying to fucking rile cunts up and cause an argument.
I don't know how that would work, personally.
The wording was about, he can activate some ancient law and he can come in and take it. And I don't think he fucking can, like. I think that's pish. It's all your TikTok and Instagram.
Well, the ancient law would be, like, the UK has been more established for longer. Like, America's only a couple hundred years old.
It's not fucking...
So, like, the law can't be that old.
But laws generally go both ways, so... But I'm calling pish on it. Loads of folk, you heard that Trump's going to be doing this. I'm like, I don't think that's a thing, mate.
And, like, geopolitically, is that the right move? I don't think so.
No.
I think what happens is, like, if you imagine that there is a club and the club is this pantomime, and then it's a bit like you have guys in areas who's doing your thing for you.
Yeah.
If one of them's getting out of hand, you need to swap them out.
Thing is, though, the most powerful cunts on the planet, there is a very large family that are in the UK that control majority of the world.
Yeah.
And what, you think you're just going to let Trump decide the UK is the fucking 52nd or 51st state of America and he's going to come in and fucking take over and sort it out? Pish.
Well, I mean, if you do...
Total pish.
If you look at the research that's been done and you take the anecdotal evidence of how it goes together, at the levels... like the people that are essentially behind the scenes run the world, like there's no wall. Like their office doesn't start in the UK and end in the United States. Like it's not divided up the way it's divided in an atlas. Their connectivity is not bound by borders.
Like obviously Big J died, but Ken, you've got these are powerful people. You see the famous fucking picture of him poking the king in the chest. Like, nonny bar. Ken, Trump, I'm coming to take over. You're fucking not, lad.
Was this the Rothschild?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ken, like, that would just be like, you're no, though.
Yeah.
This is our garden, and you're no fucking coming to the party, pal.
Did you watch that Jack Cruz podcast?
Nah, fucking never. I kept forgetting about it.
I watched it on the bike at 1.5 times speed. Because I went super physiological.
Is this the one you put on for 15 minutes and just got sucked right into it?
I was like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z today, and then I watched 15 minutes of this podcast. Thought, right, what can I stack this with that's productive? I went down to my turbo trainer and put this thing on 1.5 times speed and was like Neo in the Matrix, plugged in. So he's really, really good. Neurosurgeon says that DARPA's been using blue light to manipulate. He says it started with out in the desert in Vegas when they were using the lights.
Well, it's when you mailed me back being like, the blue lights. And I was like, I know it is. I'm just saying I didn't know that backstory. Like, why?
Yeah.
And you think, dirty bastards, man. Because you could plug this with any light source you want to, but they went for that one.
Went for blue, and
this is the history of it. And you think, fuck off, man.
But Jack Crew, he goes into specifically when he was doing brain surgery.
Is it Joe Rogan he was on? No, it wasn't Joe Rogan. It was another one.
Like the Bitcoin sort of hardcore Bitcoiners podcast. So he was on Robert Beardlove and Danny somebody. Can't remember his name. But he was on that Robert Beardlove's podcast, and he says Danny didn't want to go there with the Israelis. He says didn't want to go there. He says didn't want demonetized, didn't want pulled off YouTube and all that sort of stuff. But he went for 4 hours. He's a condescending cunt as well.
Is he?
Aye, but he's good with it. Like he think, mate, could you be merry a dick? And then you go, well, it's just your style, because he's like, I'm going to lay it out for you because you don't fucking get it yet. He's just like, he's just schooling you. But he goes on to say, like, is the condescendingness, is it clear, or is it one of those ones where some cunt insults you and you don't realise it for 3 hours till you're hinking back and be like, fucking dick? Or is it obvious he's talking to you? He doesn't hide it. He's doing it, and he's condescending, but the intent's good. That's what it is.
I'm with you.
So his intent is good, but his delivery is sort of
Bit
condescending. But he's making you know that he knows that you don't know. The
I don't mind that, to be fair.
The conversation has a clear hierarchy. I know, and you don't, and I'm going to make it clear to you. You know, there's no attempt on his part to smooth that out. He's not carrying you in any way. He's making it blunt and clear.
I'm gonna need to watch it.
But he's you know what I like about him? No fucks given. Clearly intelligent, clearly bright.
Yeah,
clearly done his research, and he's clearly very, very, very good. And the fact that his personality's got a slight touch of hint wanker about it is actually adds to the appeal. But he interestingly says that Bobby Kennedy spoke to RFK Jr. On the phone. And he said, I needed to say something to get RFK's attention. So he said, I told him that a conversation that Bobby Kennedy had that for a guy that he was with, and only RFK Jr. would have knew what happened because RFK Jr. was in the room with Bobby Kennedy when he got the call.
Okay.
And he said, that's when RFK Jr. got his attention. So he's been close to the coal fire. Goes into radiation, nuclear technology, blue light technology, DARPA, the mafia, the Jewish mafia, the Italian mafia, how the connectedness, how it linked
was
to
that him
World War
talking
I.
in that clip I sent you about the blue light?
Guy.
Oh, was that Jack Cruz?
Yeah,
okay,
Jack Cruz.
okay.
Yep.
He's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. So well worth a watch.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode about mindset. So we're continuing on from the red hot episode. It got lit up on social media. A couple of clips went viral. Surprisingly, net zero out of all of them. I think we rattled off 7 or 8 that would have made it to the top tier. But it appears that would have riled everyone up. We've discussed what we think's happening next with Trump. Time will tell. It'll be interesting to see what the next few days hold. We hope you enjoyed this continuation, and we might actually just be back in here and not too distant a future because things are changing rapidly. So hang in there. The world seems to be healing itself. Do not despair, and hopefully Keir Starmer gets the fuck. And from me this week, that's a wrap.